Good evening. I'm Chief William Bones of the Boise Police Department. Tonight we did have a tragedy occur within our city at 8:46.
Well, I just returned home, just actually sat down, and my phone went off with a text that we had 9 people who were victims in a stabbing.
Just checking if Boise wants a patrol canine. Reference to Colin Wiley.
Confirm they're requesting as many units as we can get.
On and up.
It wasn't all hands on deck. We really were calling in every available resource before the night was over to help us with the call. We've had other tragic events happen throughout the valley, but we've never had this many individuals that were attacked and injured in a single incident. The scene was a horrendous scene. As awful as the scene was, seeing bed after bed at the hospital with an adult, and particularly with children lying in it, and seeing the looks of the families that are there with their loved ones, that's not going to leave my consciousness or my psyche. Hello, my name is William Bones. I serve as Chief of the Boise City Police Department. Thank you each for coming today. And I'll start with just a brief review of last night. It was, although obviously I could not release it at the time, it was very much on my mind that it was very likely that we would lose our youngest victim. You pray for a miracle, right? And we hoped for that miracle up till the last moment. But sometimes you lose.
And this is, I'll warn you, a disturbing story. It involves a stabbing spree in Boise, Idaho.
We knew, because of the nature, just the heinous act that had occurred, that is something that would engender national attention. 9 people in total were transported to the Ada County emergency rooms. 8 of those people were transported by Ada County paramedics. 1 of those individuals, a child, was transported in a private vehicle. It was a difficult press conference for me. That was probably, I know, obvious because of the comments I've gotten, and I haven't watched it. It was important for me for people to understand that this act had happened, but as a community, it would not be the definition of the Boise, Idaho, or the victims.
What is Boise? Love! Love! Everybody together? Love!
Obviously, I have cried during this event. Thankfully, I was alone when I found out that we had lost our little girl, because she really is, in a part, she is a daughter of the entire community. We didn't prevent all the loss. We and the officers I could not be prouder of. Their ability to respond to that tactically, to get it stabilized, to save those lives, to get that medical care, and to carry through to getting them in the hospital, the professionalism they exerted, the love and tenderness they showed at that hospital for each of those families and the kids that were laying in those beds. That's the proudest moment I've had as a police chief. Every person that lives in Boise, you have a moment. You have a moment in the national spotlight. And you have a moment to create good out of horror, to move forward from the past, and to be an example to the rest of the country in how we treat every single member of our community. Take advantage of that moment. Take the initiative to become involved, to step forward, to be a voice for the innocent among us, to be a voice for those that don't always have a voice, for the most vulnerable populations that exist. And if you're somewhere else and you happen to be tuning into Boise to look at this, be a voice in your own community for those that might not feel that they can comfortably come forward.